Today film emulation is one of the best ways to make your video stand out from the rest, to make it more atmospheric and nostalgic. Usually to get that look you might use some different textures, overlays and a bunch of different tricks, but recently I found something truly unique. A few weeks ago I got a message from Dehancer. They asked me to check out and review their product. So what is Dehancer? Dehancer is a film emulation tool that brings the look and feel of real film to your footage, with powerful creative color grading options, real film vibes, creative color tools, and that's Dehancer. Now buying a good film camera, shooting on film and developing that film, all of that can take a lot of time and money. Sometimes you could be waiting over a week just to see your results. But today I'm going to show you how you can get the same beautiful look in just a few clicks. Dehancer is a paid plugin and yes, it might seem expensive, but trust me, it's absolutely worth it. So we're already in Davinci, I'm using the free version. We have the two beautiful clips on the timeline. The first one showed the absolutely amazing mountains of Norway, and the second one is just a tree in the park near my home. Let's move to the color tab. I use Davinci exclusively for color correction. Maybe one day I'll switch it completely. As you can see, I have only one node and my clip. I shot this on Fujifilm X-S20 with the F-Log format. That's why the image looks so great. Go to search bar and type Dehancer. Just drag it into one node. Right now our clip looks bluish and ungraded, but give me a few seconds and we'll get an amazing result. In this video I'll show you my favorite settings in Dehancer and how I adjust them. By the way, I am not a professional colorist, I just play around with different parameters and get a different cool results. First we need to set the input. Go to the input tab, under source we can select choose camera because I know what camera and what format I used. Then in vendor you can choose your camera brand. There is a huge list of cameras here. You can select Sony, Canon, Blackmagic. There is even Apple, which is absolutely crazy nowadays. DJI is also here if you shoot on drones. I'll choose Fujifilm, then under camera I'll select the model. Unfortunately, Dehancer has not added support for the XS20 yet, so I asked ChatGPT which camera is close in terms of color to mine, and it suggested the X-T4, so I'll pick that one. The format I used is F-Log. Here you can immediately adjust some very useful settings like exposure, temperature and tint. I'll slightly increase the exposure and make the clip a bit more blue with the temperature. You can easily fine-tune all of this again after finishing the rest of your adjustments. Go to the Film tab. In the Profile drop-down, you will find an insane amount of film stocks, all kinds of options for your clip. I count them, there are more than 60 different film types here, which honestly blows my mind. It's really cool, you can experiment and test different films. You can try any one in just a second. My favorite films are Kodak Vision 3, 200D, 250D, 500D and 50D. I also really like Cinestill 50D and 800D. For this clip I'll choose Kodak Vision 3 200D. And now we can instantly adjust the intensity or power of our film look. You can also go back to input and tweak different parameters slightly. The next is Film Developer. Click Enable and now we can instantly boost the color in our clip. And as you can see, the colors immediately become more saturated and vibrant. And all these adjustments are done in just one node with one plugin. You don't need to create tons of nodes for different controls like curves, white balance, saturation and so on. And that's really cool. Even if you're a beginner, you'll easily handle these settings. I also reduced the contrast to give it slightly washed look. You can also tweak film compression, I usually leave it off, and for this clip I won't use it. but film compression gives lights a film-like character with soft compression and texture. It doesn't restore overlighted areas, but it does help preserve detail and naturalness. The next part is Expand tab. This is one of the super helpful settings. Here you can control black point and white point. I slightly raise both the black and white points. You can also open waveform or vector scope and fine-tune your image more precisely. Next step is Print. Print simulates the final step of the film process, printing onto film stock. It adds a signature tone and contrast, making the image feel more unified and cinematic. You can choose different print types depending on what style you are going for. I leave it on linear and slightly tweak the exposure. Next is Film Grain. In my opinion, this is one of the most unique features of Dehancer. Unlike overlays, Dehancer grains is not just a scan, it's a dynamic and detailed effect. The algorithm reacts to the image's color and brightness to generate a natural film-like texture. You can select presets for 8mm, 16, 35 or 65mm, or fully customize the grain like size, amount and color. Most often I use 16mm size of 50 and reduce the amount to 25. The film grain gives the image depth, life and that vintage feel. It unifies the picture, removes the digital look and makes your frame feel more cinematic, especially when combined with effects like halation and bloom. Grain really helps bring that true film feeling. The next one is halation. Halation is visible as the red-orange glow around light sources, highlights and strong edges. It also makes skin tones more vivid and attractive. There are 8 halation profiles with custom settings for different creative needs. You can also adjust everything manually. I usually choose custom, click mask mode and you'll see the specific areas in your clip where the halation will appear. Be careful with these settings to avoid the overdone halation effect. I like to fine-tune this effect so it doesn't stand out too much and acts as a subtle enhancement. Move to bloom. Bloom adds a soft glow or haze around bright areas, a classic vintage look. Traditionally it was achieved with optical filters, specialty lenses or small format film. You can choose between 8mm, 16, 35 and 65 again millimeters, or customize it fully. For this one I'll choose 16mm because I like how it looks. Next is film damage. This is insanely cool feature. You can add scratches and imperfections over your video, and it looks incredibly because you don't need any overlays or textures files. Just one click and the effect is applied. But for my clip I'll keep film damage turned off. Now we'll add an Overscan. Overscan is that authentic film border with perforations, light leaks and frame edges. It's built from real film scans, so it looks super authentic. You can choose the format between 8, 16, 35 or 65mm and tweak each element individually. This is an awesome detail if you want to add a true vintage vibe. You can also adjust exposure, scale, lens zoom for Overscan and many more settings. For my clip I'll choose standard 16mm, need normal, perforation mode is negative, and I'll enable Overscan animation. Next feature is monitor. Not many people highlight this one, but I think it's one of the most important tools when you're color grading. With false colors you can get a way better control of your image. This tool shows brightness levels using color overlays. If you want to learn more about it, I leave a link below this video on how to work with the false colors. And that's the result we got for our first clip in just a few minutes. I didn't send film for scanning, I didn't wait days for results, I got it right here and right now. And that's honestly wild. So let's move to the second clip. If you like the look you created in the first clip, you don't need to redo everything. Just open the Clips tab in Davinci, click the clip with Finish Color Grade, Press Ctrl C or Command C, select your second clip and paste it with Ctrl V or Command V. And you are done. But now I'll adjust a few settings. I want to show you another one of my favorite film stock. This time I'll go with Cinestill 50D. Then in Film Developer I reduce contrast and maybe boost the color. In Expand panel I'll raise the black point a little. I'll go back to Input, lower the exposure and adjust a few other settings to better fit the clip. I'll adjust temperature maybe and some tint, and that's where the magic happens. Imagine that such an atmospheric, nostalgic and vintage look was created in under 30 seconds. And that's it. Here is our two final looks we created using Dehancer. Dehancer is a unique and incredibly powerful plugin with a massive library of film stock, film grain and other super useful features for fast and high quality color grading. If this sounds interesting to you, check out Dehancer and I highly recommend it for your work. It's incredibly easy to use and a very powerful tool. If you decide to take Dehancer, follow the link below this video and use the code ZNAK to get 10% off. If you enjoyed this video, don't forget to subscribe, give it a thumbs up and share your thoughts in the comments. See you in the next one. Good luck!